I never thought that I would be a sheep shearer when I was growing up. My first shearing job was when I was 14 years old. I made $5 a head, so it came out to a grand total of $35, and it took us half the day. My name is Katie McRose. I'm 26 years old, and I'm a sheep, llama, and alpaca shearer from Seguin, Texas. And this year, we're projected to bring in between $80,000 and $120,000. If we didn't shear these sheep, they would be extremely hot in the summer. They've got to carry around the weight, they've got to carry around the heat, and in order to not make them suffer like that, we shear it off. Nowadays, if I make less than $1,000 in a day, it's a really slow one. So I grew up kind of all over the place. My parents were in the Army. When they got out of the military, we moved out to the country, and that's where I first started collecting animals. I can't imagine living this life without my wife, because she literally like holds everything together. The only class that I failed and had to retake in college was actually sheep and goat production, which is super ironic. I did come out debt-free, which was really nice. I didn't ever have to ask anybody to borrow any money or to help me out with rent, which was nice. The most I maybe made in college was around $30,000 working part-time. We knew that we liked shearing and that it allowed us to travel and we made decent money at it, so we decided to give that just a go at full time. You want me to grab the hooves and you trim them? Okay. The first year we did like 350 jobs. The year after that we did 475, 575, and this year we're gonna knock that out of the park again. How pricing works for shearing animals is by the head. For one sheep, it's $20 for me to shear it and $20 for me to show up. We call that a setup fee. If you have 2 sheep, it's still $20 a piece, but we have a $40 setup fee, and that $40 setup fee is across the board. And when we get to 100 sheep, depending on the breed, you're looking at $5 a head. 1 or 2 llamas, it's $45 a head plus the setup fee. Same thing for our alpacas, $30 a head for 10 of them plus the setup fee. So in 4 months already this year, we've brought in over last year's amount of $80,000. That's servicing about 480 farms. I have every intentions of reaching 600 or so farms this year, trying to break that 100 to 120,000 goal. Our season is from the end of February till July, but that is the only time that we really make money, except for about a month in the fall. So during shearing season, we work 7 days a week, and it's typically 14 to 18 hours a day, depending on how hard we run. We leave the hotel around 7, at our first job, probably about an hour away, get there around 8, and we could have anywhere from one job, which would be a large job with like hundreds of animals, or we'll have multiple small jobs, our average being 5 to 8 jobs a day, but we do as many as 14 in a day, and that's traveling from place to place. So shearing looks really easy when you watch somebody do it. Somebody that's skilled, you look at it and you're like, wow, I mean, that stuff just falls off like butter. And there's a lot of technical skill that goes into that. On an easy, normal sheep, I'm shearing it between 1.5 minutes and 3 minutes. And then on the more difficult ones, it'll take me about 5 to 7 minutes. Those shears are incredibly sharp. It goes really fast with high RPMs. It does not bog down, which means that it can cut through meat, it can cut through flesh, it can cut through bone, tendons, without skipping a beat. So it is very dangerous. And then I am holding an animal that has a mind of its own. Just this year, cut my pinky in half. I broke my toe. I've been electrocuted over an extended amount of time, and I hooked my leg and put 22 stitches in it. A lot of people want to know how I can just run like the Energizer Bunny. And the thing is the Energizer Bunny does stop beating the drum eventually. You know, when you go that hard, it's really hard on your body. Physical exhaustion is one thing. I can pretty much power through that, but the mental part is really hard. Sheep shearing is mostly a mental game. Doesn't really matter about how strong you are. It's about, can you hack it for that many hours? I love shearing. I love shearing sheep. I love shearing alpacas. I love shearing llamas. I hate shearing goats, but that's besides the point. When you take a passion and you turn it into work, it is work. I love what I do, and I honestly don't want to do anything else. It's just, honestly, being a business owner is not what it's all chalked up to be. It's hard, because nobody else takes that responsibility if you don't show up. I would say that being a sheep shearer is a minority in the United States, and then being a woman is definitely its own subcategory, and then to be a gay woman, I don't think I know another gay woman sheep shearer besides my wife. I didn't want people to judge me before I ever got out there. Like, I didn't want being lesbian to be a defining part of me. As I've matured, I've realized that it doesn't have to be a defining part of me, but it is an excellent quality that I have. I was worried that it would affect my business, and it hasn't, because it turns out people don't care if I'm gay. What they care about is if I come in and do a good job on their sheep.